Riding in the passenger seat of a Polaris RZR XP or new RZR XP 4900 is better than any roller coaster ride, but riding is never as much fun as driving. When it comes to side-by-sides, kids have been getting the short end of the stick for too long. We wouldn't recommend turning your young riders loose in an 88 horsepower missile, and neither does Polaris. That's why they introduced the RZR 170. The RZR 170 has a list of important safety features, starting with its roll cage. There's a throttle limiter which allows you to limit speeds down to around 5 miles per hour for beginners. A whip flag provides better visibility along with dual front running lights. 3-point seatbelts and door nets are similar to the ones found on the larger RZRs. A pull-up lever between the seats activates the machine's parking brake. Polaris even includes 2 helmets, plus an instructional DVD with your purchase to help get everyone started off riding smart. Polaris recommends the RZR 170 for drivers ages 12 and up, with parental supervision of course. 12-year-old Ethan Wingate was extremely eager to test the RZR out when he first laid eyes on it. His Aunt Jennifer seemed happy to volunteer to supervise, but we suspect it had more to do with getting some time behind the wheel. We gave our drivers several days with the RZR to see what it could do. The first day was spent at Ethan's family property, racing around getting used to the machine. The second day was spent trail riding at one of our favorite private testing facilities. For our testing, we suited Ethan up in Fly Racing's flashy and affordable F16 gear, Maverick boots, and Kinetic Pro Trey Canard helmet. The gear was a perfect match for the little red RZR, and Ethan was thrilled about having new threads to go with his new ride. Ergonomically, the RZR is on point for its intended audience. Our test drivers were both around 5 feet tall and found the cockpit quite comfortable. 6-foot-tall adults can stuff themselves in, but getting in and out is no fun. The bucket seats are similar to those found in the larger RZRs, offering a low sit-in feeling. The driver's seat can be slid forward or backwards, and the passenger grab bar, which we love, is also adjustable. Power is provided by a 169cc 2-valve single overhead cam fan-assisted air-cooled 4-stroke engine. A 22mm carburetor regulates the engine's air-fuel mixture. There's a pull-out manual choke located in the center of the dash, which comes in handy on cold mornings. The engine's top end is mated to a fully automatic Polaris variable transmission, featuring forward, neutral, and reverse, selected by a lever located between the seats. Indicator lights for neutral and reverse are easily referenced, located in the center of the dash. As you would expect with an engine of this size, power is very manageable with a little driver experience. Both of our drivers were surprised though by how well the 493-pound RZR accelerated from a dead stop or out of corners. It'll torque its way up a steep enough hill to take it trail riding, and topping out at around 25 miles per hour, it provides a speed that's fast enough to be fun without overwhelming the capabilities of the chassis. When moving forward, the transmission engages low in the RPMs with virtually no feeling of lag when you push the gas. Its low RPM hookup and the engine's good low-end torque let you crawl along in tight sections. It also allows the RZR to get rolling easily when the throttle limiter is adjusted for lower speeds. In reverse, the clutch engages a little more abruptly, a bit higher in the RPMs. This gives you a little snap with which to back out of tough situations, while the rev limiter helps keep you from going fast enough to lose control. While styling is very close to the larger RZRs, the chassis design is considerably more basic. A cage-equipped steel frame mates up to single front A-arms and a solid axle-equipped rear swing arm. Preload adjustable shocks at all 4 corners control 5 inches of wheel travel at both ends. Despite its simplistic design, the suspension works pretty well. You can hammer over small rolling bumps with a throttle pin. The shocks do a good job of keeping the tires in contact with the ground and the driver in control. The ride is pleasantly plush, traversing obstacles you might expect to find on beginner trails. But keep in mind, deep whoops and all but the smallest of jumps will result in a jarring ride. The 170 is 48 inches wide with a wheelbase of 65 inches and 6 inches of ground clearance. The RZR rolls on 1970 front and 2010-9 rear Duro tires mounted on black steel wheels. Its dimensions and solid rear axle provide a very stable ride at any speed. Body roll is minimal and two-wheeling is almost non-existent. The front end stays planted on any hill that the engine will climb, and it handles equally well on the way back down. Its wheelbase and ground clearance do limit the machine's capabilities somewhat though, as it frames out on abrupt transitions cresting hills or traversing logs near 6 inches thick. Polaris offers a larger tire and aluminum wheel package for the 170 that provide additional ground clearance for gnarly trails. The rear gyros will get the two-wheel drive RZR through all but the nastiest mud. While four-wheel drive sounds good, its smaller engine is better off without the additional drag. Braking is handled by dual hydraulic disc brakes up front and a single hydraulic disc brake in the rear. The brakes offer very good power and feel and will haul two occupants to a halt in a hurry. While there is no storage in the cockpit, there is a netted basket mounted on the back of the roll cage. We concur, kids don't need a speedometer to stare at while they're driving, but the fake instrument display and large taillight decals are a bit cheesy for a vehicle intended for riders 12 years old and up. We wish they'd ditch the Power Wheels instrument display sticker, provide a fuel gauge somewhere on the machine, replace the taillight stickers with reflectors so they'd serve a purpose, and provide some kind of bumper at both ends. Based on its specifications, we came away impressed with the little RZR. Both our drivers felt the RZR 170 was super fun and outperformed Ethan's $1,800 Pep Boys go-kart in every way imaginable. The red RZR sells for $42.99, while the camo model will set you back $46.99. We feel it's a little costly for the chassis' level of sophistication, but it works well and looks every bit as cool as the full-size RZRs. If your 12-year-old is mature enough to take the wheel, the RZR's sharp appearance will capture the imagination, and its performance will keep them out on the trail for days of excitement. For more information on the 2012 Polaris RZR 170 and their full line of side-by-sides and ATVs, log on to Polaris.com.